Because 4 men who had a disease, who were unaccepted, who were locked outside of the city. Y'all don't understand. So you got to understand when things look bad. See, everything looked bad for them. Things might look bad for you in your life right now, in your situation right now. But you just got to understand that God is a God who sits high, the old folks say, and he looks low, and he sees every situation that you're in. And all you got to do is listen and obey. Follow God's instructions. Somebody say follow God's instructions. That's the problem. Sometimes we get in trouble because we don't follow God's instructions. See, somebody said, well, someone was going to say, well, why we need to go down there at twilight? We need to wait till it's dark, black dark, so nobody can see us. But y'all know God's got a plan that's totally different from our plan all the time. But my saying is we got to work with God's plan. If we work with God's plan, God gonna work it out for us. They went down there, the Bible says. God made 4 men's little feet. And I'm sure they weren't stomping or nothing. Even if they were stomping, they wouldn't sound like horses and chariots. Sound like an army. That was an illusion because they were in the twilight zone. They were in the twilight zone. So the Syrians, the Bible says, ran and left all of that stuff behind. Everything that they had, they left it all behind. They left their clothes and they left their horses, the donkeys, the clothes, the silver, the gold. They left everything behind because it sounded like to them that there were a great army coming that they could not defeat. How many know that God can change the sound? Oh, my. God can change this. What you hear, you might think you hear it one way, but God can change the sound. And sometimes you go, did you hear? Did you hear? No, because it was just for you to hear. The Bible says that God put the enemy in the twilight zone. They won't know reality from an illusion. In other words, God confused the enemy. The lepers went into one tent, the Bible said. They ate and they drank. They carried away all the silver, the gold, the clothes, everything they could carry. And the Bible said they went and hid it. And that wasn't enough. They came back and they went into another tent. And they carried away all the stuff that they could carry. Can you imagine these leprous men who had a disease and who had been ostracized and kicked to the curb and just thought of as nothing, locked outside of the city? And when they got there and they saw all of this stuff that they had, can you imagine why they went and hid it? Why? Because they thought somebody might take it away from them. I came this morning, this is just an encouraging message this morning. I came to encourage just a few of y'all, because everybody ain't going to be encouraged. Everybody ain't going to receive it. But I came to encourage a few folks to let you know that you do have a choice. You can either stay at the entrance of your situation and die, or you can get up. Oh my. You can get up out of your situation and you can live. When my enemy thought that it was over, I found out it ain't over until God says it's over. When they called it a wrap, when they threw up the deuces, God says it ain't over. When your back is against the wall, anybody back ever been against the wall? When you're between a rock and a hard place, God says it ain't over. I came to tell somebody today, keep fighting. Oh, my. Keep praying. Keep fasting. It ain't over. Keep pressing. Keep progressing. Keep moving. It ain't over. Keep reading. Interceding. Keep believing. It ain't over. Keep trusting. Keep trying. Keep travailing. It ain't over. Keep living. Keep giving. Keep going. It ain't over. Because what the devil meant for evil, God meant it for your good. It ain't over until God says it's over. It ain't over until God says it's done. Keep fighting, people of God, until the victory is won. Stay there and die or get up and live. But I've determined in my spirit that I'm not going to let the cares of this life keep me down. I'm not going to let it depress me. I'm not going to let it oppress me. I'm not going to let it frustrate me. I'm not going to let it aggravate me, because I understand that until God says so, oh my goodness, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. And I'm not going to die, but I'm going to live. High five your neighbor and say, don't die. Don't die. Don't die. I need you to high five it. Four people. Say, don't die. But live. You're going to live and not die. Why? Because it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. I don't care what they said about you. I don't care how they tried to take your job. I don't care how they tried to take your money. You got to understand, God's got the final say. God's got the final say. God's got the final say. And it ain't over until God says it's over. Somebody clap your hands and give God some praise if you understand that it ain't over until God says it's over. I came to tell somebody today that you got to stop listening to people that's talking in your ear. You got to stop listening to somebody that don't got your back. But you got to understand that you need to just listen to God. It might look bad. You might not even know how you're going to get the ends to meet. You might not even have two nickels to rub together. But until God says it, oh my, I said until God says it. It ain't over until God says it's over. And when he says it's over, it's over. Tell your neighbor, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. See, what some folks do is, when stuff get bad, they don't come to church. They stay home. That's an example of sitting at the entrance of your situation and trying to die. But you got to get up. I don't care how bad you feel. I don't care how bad the situation is. I'm not going to sit home and die. I'm going to get up. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth, take a bath, put my clothes on. I'm going to make it to the house of God. Why? Because I understand that there's peace in the sanctuary. There's joy in the sanctuary. Oh, there's deliverance in the sanctuary. There's healing in the if I can just make it to the house of God. The house of God is a hospital. Everybody that come up in here coming to get something done to them that they need done. Whether you need a healing, you come to get healed. Whether you come to get salvation, you come to get saved. And when you leave, y'all not here. Y'all not here. When you go to South Georgia, sick folks is at South Georgia. People at South Georgia are the people who need something. And when they are South Georgia, they expect to be well when they don't dismiss you until you, they don't let you go until you're well enough to go. And when they dismiss them, they don't look like or feel like they did when they went. And when you come into the house of God, you need to come ready to receive. Because when you go to South Georgia, you let them do anything to you. You let them stick you everywhere they want to stick you. You let them stick stuff everywhere they want to stick stuff. They put stuff in every hole interest that you got, and you lay there and let them do it. But when you come to the house of God, y'all get cute. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. Don't touch this. Don't do that. Don't do. I ain't gonna. Don't. And so when you leave the house of God, you leave the same way you came. But when you go to South Georgia, you ain't going until you feeling better. You ain't going, and you let them do everything to you they want to do. You take every pill they give you. You receive every shot they give you. You let them take your blood. You let them take your urine. They take your feet. They take everything. They take it all. And y'all just give it to them freely. But when you come to the house of God, what do you surrender unto the Lord? Oh, my. What do you surrender? What are you willing to give up? Oh, let me come on down on the floor. What are you willing to give up in the house of God so that you won't leave the same way you came? Why you go to the hospital sick and leave sick? When I go to the hospital sick, I intend to leave well. When I come to God's house and I'm down and depressed and oppressed, I mean to leave out of here with some joy. Lord have mercy. I mean to leave with some joy. I don't intend to come up in here and leave the same way I came. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of going to the hospital if you ain't gonna leave well? What's the purpose of coming to the house of God if you ain't gonna leave delivered? Do I have anybody up in here? Can I get anybody to believe it? Can I get anybody to believe it? You don't understand. You go to the hospital, the doctor, you don't know nothing about him. You don't know whether he's a real doctor or not. You just take his word. You don't know how many folks he done operated on before he got to you. You just let him cut you open. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But I come to tell somebody today that we serve a physician. Oh, my. That has never lost a case. And he knows your insides and your outsides. Why? Because he created you. And he don't have to cut you open. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. He can just move by the Spirit. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy, Otis. I said, Lord, have mercy. You just need to let the great physician do some surgery on you. And when you get through, you won't even have an incision. Nobody can tell what they did to you. Oh, my. But when you got your appendix taken out, you got a scar. But when God get through with you, there ain't gonna be no scar. Oh, you're gonna know that I feel better. So much better. Since I laid my... Oh, come on here.